Last night, while watching the Oilers versus the Golden Knights Game 2, there was one thought that was kind of pulsating through my mind the entire time the Oilers were on the power play or whenever they were in the offensive zone. Lego, you were wrong. Like, really, really wrong. So wrong to the point that even though you already made a video a few months ago saying how wrong you were, you gotta go out there and do it again, man. And the reason I'm making this video is because of a defenseman on the team that, with the departure of Tyson Barrie, had finally been given that opportunity to be the best version of himself. Of course, you know, from the title, from the thumbnail, today we are talking about Evan Bouchard. And all the crazy things that he has been doing this postseason run, all the points, all the records, all the numbers, it's been there for Bouchard. And the reason I feel kind of guilty about it is because back when this guy was going to be drafted in 2018, I was super against it. And you could see the videos that I made on the YouTube channel, concerns I have with Evan Bouchard. You could see all the stuff that I made talking about the Canucks, and I was like, yeah, I don't want Bouchard, I don't want Dobson, I want Quinn Hughes, I want Boquist, I want Oliver Wahlstrom. Those were the guys that I kind of wanted for my Vancouver Canucks in 2018. But you know what? I feel like this has been a very bad introduction to the video because I just kind of plopped it all in there to a place in my mind in 2018 when we were talking about these prospects. So let's go over the entire holistic story and summary so far. Evan Bouchard is a young dude. He's 23 years old. A big dude too, 6'3", 194 right-handed defenseman playing for the Oilers. Ever since Tyson Barrie was traded away, Bouchard has been the top guy on that power play, and in the playoffs this season, the guy has really bared the fruits of that choice. In the 8 games that the Oilers have played so far, 6 against the LA Kings and 2 against Vegas, Bouchard has 3 goals and 11 assists for 14 total points. Now, you could say, okay, part of these assists have been because McDavid and Draisaitl are there. He's feeding it to McDavid and or Draisaitl, and they're finding ways to put the puck in the back of the net. But you also saw yesterday the Bouch Bomb, where he's able to take the puck, slowly creep his way into an area, and fire it on goal with his head up the entire way through. It's interesting because this is the kind of goal that he would score consistently in the OHL. And that is noteworthy to me because back when he was playing in the OHL, I kind of said it straight up in a few videos that I don't know if that OHL type of style is going to be able to translate to the National Hockey League. But either way, we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. Let's go back over to 2018 and talk about why exactly I was so wrong about this guy. You see, back in 2017-18, Evan Bouchard had 87 points in 67 games played, 25 goals too, with the London Knights. And part of the reason he was able to get all these points is because he slowed the game down like it was nobody's business. He wasn't really the most mobile guy, he didn't really have the best foot speed, nor the best engagement in his own zone, but when it came to the offensive zone, Evan Bouchard was a menace, and not really in the same ways that a Cale Makar or a Quinn Hughes is a menace, because those guys, these smaller defensemen, they would come alive in the offensive zone with dynamism, elite skating, deception, and just an overall attitude that was tough to push off. Bouchard didn't have that. Evan Bouchard instead was more so of just like the old grandpa sitting in a rocking chair back and forth, just kind of chilling and relaxing. He was so calm, poised, and collected every time he was the last man back at the top of the umbrella. And normally, his style in the offensive zone boasted a sort of level of competency that you didn't really see at first because he would just be standing there, kind of move back and forth a little bit. If he sees a guy that's open, he'll pass it to him. If he sees a shooting lane open, he'll fire a shot on goal. And he was able to produce a lot because his offensive instincts of where to put the puck were just so strong, despite his mobility not really being up to snuff with some of the other defenders in the 2018 draft, like that Noah Dobson, like that Boquist, like that Hughes, or of course, Rasmus Dahlin, who was taken at the top. Evan Bouchard did not have the same mobility, and in his own zone, there were some engagement issues that really stood out to me, saying, hey, that's a red flag. Like, look at how seldom he really hustles or he sprints back in his own zone. He just kind of stands there, he glides back. It's not really the best sort of profile, and even in the offensive zone, you could say that play style of his where he's able to just kind of stand there and nobody's challenging him before he fires a shot on goal that goes in, that style's not going to work at the National Hockey League level, and that's why we made videos about it. Concerns I have with Evan Bouchard. This video is 5 years old. But it's crazy because nowadays, you look at how Bouchard is handling that Oilers blue line, and it kind of feels super similar to what he was doing back in the OHL. Like, the way he's creating these chances and these points, it reminds me so much of that tape from 5 years ago. And in fact, it's gotten so crazy that if you take a look at the stat made on StatCenter, TSN, or ESPN, I'm not really too sure. Okay, it's TSN, excuse me. With a goal and an assist in the Oilers' resounding Game 2 over the Golden Knights on Saturday, Evan Bouchard is now up to an amazing 14 points through 8 contests in these playoffs so far. It ties him behind only 2 such starts by a defenseman on this list. Here it is, most points by a defenseman in their first 8 playoff games. Take a look at this. Potvin had 16, Paul Coffey had 16, and then you have Evan Bouchard tied with Larry Robinson and Brian Leetch at 14. Evan Bouchard is having a postseason run for the ages, wherein he's literally amongst some of the best defensemen the NHL has ever seen. Leetch, Robinson, Coffey, Potvin, these are all Hall of Fame caliber guys, and Bouchard is smack dab in there, right up in the crowd. And it's funny because all these guys, I mean, you take a look at the years, Potvin 81, Coffey 85, Robinson 78, Leetch 1995. It has been 30 years since we have seen a guy have this many points in the postseason to start off that campaign. First 8 games in a playoff year, Bouchard is almost at 2 points a game, and it looks like he belongs. You know, everybody's talking about Leon Draisaitl, everybody's talking about Connor McDavid, and for good reason. They're crazy good players, and they had amazing goals yesterday. Leon Draisaitl is a man amongst boys. No, he is a god amongst men with the amount of goals that guy is producing. And Connor McDavid, even though he hasn't really had the hottest start off to the postseason because, you know, he's going off against Philippe Deneau in the LA series and against the Vegas Golden Knights, he kind of got shut down in Game 1, but he came alive in Game 2 yesterday. You saw the goals that guy scored? Oh my goodness. The breakaway shorthanded, or not even a breakaway, it was kind of just a fast break shorthanded where he's fighting off the check of the defender, Shea Theodore. And then the other really nice goal where he slips it in by the side there. These two guys are doing incredibly well, but Evan Bouchard is right up there and doing phenomenal things too. So for me personally, I was so wrong about this guy back in 2018. It was crazy just to see how bad my predictions ended up coming out to be. Sure, I would still probably have preferred to have Quinn Hughes or Adam Boqvist at the time over Bouchard. I mean, today, Bouchard's much better than Boqvist. It's kind of not even a debate there, but still, he's a big dude, he's not the fastest dude, but when he really decides to take control of a blue line like he has the entire postseason run so far with the Oilers, it's a sight to behold. The guy has had 2 points in every single one of his past 3 games. It's wild. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Evan Bouchard and the way he's played so far. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.